Hail Panda-wans and artists following that illustrated path with me. Basically, anyone who is by pencil or pixel or paintbrush or polygon, they're remembering their ABCs. Always be creating. So what I'd like to do here is show a little bit about what it means, ABC, right? So a couple weekends ago, this is in February, I think, my boy, young Samson, wanted to go out swimming, so I was working on something on my computer, and I was like, okay. So what I did is instead of, grabbing the iPhone or the iPad or any of these, devices of distraction, that's a good name for a band. Basically, what I did is I took the original device of distraction, which is my sketchbook or any blank page, right? I brought my sketchbook out, opened it up, and, drawing in the sun, with the suntan lotion, that always makes a nice clean canvas, right? Well, anyways, I brought out my sketch pad and I was doing some, doodling, right? I could have been distracted doing something else, but nope, I'm going to try to live by my own mantras, ABC. So I was drawing this picture, and, I didn't have a lot of time to really think about what it was. I was just doing what I call a brutal doodle, right? It's just kind of a fun thing that, just sketching on something fun. So I picked an idea like some sort of medieval, warrior type. And instead of, normally in like your D&D images, you got the guy with the sword and the spear and the bow and the arrow and the shield and the axe and the mace. He's got them all strapped all over his body, like a, Liefeld character. So what I decided to do was, instead of having this dude who has all these weapons strapped on him, it's like, well, what would this guy look like at the end of a battle? So basically, I started working on this sketch here, and this is it. So he basically has all these weapons, but unfortunately for him, they're all through him. He's like a human sheath or something like that. That actually that sounds like a porn or something. So don't look that up. It's probably going to be bad. So anyways, our human sheath here, he's basically the last man standing on a battlefield. He's got his weapons, but he is just festooned, bristling with arrows and spears, and he's got the one going through his torso. He's got his balloon animals hanging out. Basically, he's just this is the last man standing. Probably doesn't look like he's going to stand much more. But anyways, it was just something simple and fun that I could do while I was outside watching, the young Samson go swimming and cannonball into the pool. So afterwards, I came in, and so this is I scanned the image, and was working on it a little bit in Photoshop. But it was just a quick image. It was something that I got to work and create on, have fun, make a piece of art. But I wasn't necessarily going to do anything with it, maybe post it on social media, things like that. And, after the swim session was done, came back in, started working on my normal projects, right? And so it was literally like 2 or 3 days later, at the beginning of the week, I got a call from one of my friends at Metal Blade Records. And it was an email, and he's like, "Hey, Sam, man, I don't know if you're busy or not, but, the band Amon Amarth is coming out with a new album, and we want to do a promotional T-shirt for the band, and we're kind of running out of time. Do you have any time?" And I'm sitting there going like, "Hey, man, I'm sorry, I really don't. What's the album? Can you share any info? Maybe I can help out." And so they sent me the name of the album. It's out now, but it was called Berserker. And that's just Berserker. I was saying it like the dude from Clerks. So anyways, he sent me the information. He sent me the album cover, and I'm like, oh, right, okay, that's pretty badass. And I'm kind of looking at it. I'm like, all right, there's a dude here that's got like, arrows stuck in his shield. He's all cut up. He's got a bloody axe. It's like he's kind of like a last man standing there. I'm like, all right, hold on a second. So I'm like, hey, I really don't have any time. I got, a deadline. I had a deadline for a book project of mine coming up, and plug. And I go, what I do have though is I basically, told him, I go, hey, I did this image over the weekend. It's a little rough, but it's largely the same idea as what Amon Amarth was doing with Berserker. And I go, I don't know if you guys are down for something like this, I can do a polish pass and a cleanup, and it'll be ready for prime time. So sent it to them. He sent it to the band, and all the whoever makes the decisions. They go, yeah, they friggin' think that'll be great. Would you be able to sit there and add maybe a bearskin sort of helm on the guy? Could you get rid of the guy's sword and maybe give him a shield or an axe? I go, well, if we want to keep this quick, the best thing to do would be maybe replace his sword with another axe so we can keep the same pose and there's no redesign or drawing time on it. And I sent him, a quick image. I did the bear skin, I did the axe, and did a little cleanup, and all of a sudden it's starting to look kind of cool. And they go, yes, we like that, keep going on that. So what I did is, I just kept polishing. I just did a little bit of extra blood on that just to kind of make it a bit more Berserker-ish. And sent that to them. They were digging it, and so I go, okay, I'll start putting in some colors. And so basically all I did is in Photoshop, super fun program, I started dropping in some colors. Now, this looks like it's a lot of work, but it really isn't. It's basically a couple layers in Photoshop of the artwork where, see if you see, this is two layers I have. I have one, which is an overlay layer, and I dropped in some basic colors. And then on that, I have a color layer. But these are basically just two layers I drew exactly just right on top of the other thing with the spray brush and all that kind of stuff. And so that since this was for a shirt, I go, well, let's, this big giant photo, would not be fun on a shirt. It's like a big old piece of plate mail on your shirt when they print it out and you get all hot and sweaty. And I'm already a guy who runs normally hot and sweaty, so I don't need to be getting even more sweaty, especially because I like making shirts for people because I end up getting some free shirts. Yeah. So what I did is I go, how about we do something like where we put a ring around the guy, and so he'll be in the ring, in the center of it. Weapons will be coming out of it, but then the rest will be on a black background. So I sent that idea to him. They liked it, and so I started proceeding, and this is where we ended up with the idea. So as you can see, he's still got all the weapons, he's still got all the blood and guts and all that kind of fun stuff. But, you don't have that giant wall of paint on your chest. And so I basically took it to another level. Take it to another level. No, I kept working on it and painting on it until I got it ready for print for the shirt. And I was able to, send it to Metal Blade. And they dug it. The band dug it. They were super happy. And, the coolest thing about all of this, one, I got to create, a piece of artwork. But I got to help out my buddies at Metal Blade who, have always been super cool and, getting me, into some of the concerts around here. And, I've done work for them and Amon Amarth too. So it's great that we have this relationship where we're, both helping each other out. I make some artwork. They let me come to shows. It's super cool. I got to help out a band whose music I really dig, Amon Amarth. If you're not familiar with them, check them out. It's all, predominantly Norse mythology, and talking about Vikings and some of the historical events with them. Check out their new album, Berserker, that's out now. And all of this wouldn't have been able to happen had I not, on that one weekend, instead of farting around on a phone or checking out some article that'll spiral me down into some other articles and all that, I decided to put my money where my mouth is and ABC. And so you can see that this image, it's aside from some of the extra bits that I added, and of course the color, it's the same image I did that weekend, all sweaty and suntan lotion covered and all that. And yeah, that's friggin' ABC in a nutshell, and the greatest thing out of all of it, I got a piece of art and I got a t-shirt out of it. It's definitely worth considering. So the next time maybe you are going to binge watch some show that you don't really care about, or go look on social media and just sort of follow that rabbit down the rabbit hole and looking at all the crazy weird shit, put away those screens and take out the original screen. That what artists use. The original screen, pad of paper, sketchbook, canvas, whatever it is, man. Just do it. All right? So thanks for listening to me ramble. I want to give you all a mighty cheers and beers to you all. And of course, remember your ABCs. Always be creating.